Your kids should be responsible enough, and definitely at 16, to like take care of themselves. But if you're not properly training them, you're not properly teaching them to do better and to act better and to know what's good from bad, then how else are they going to learn? The streets are going to teach them. So this is the result.
And now to a frightening video here you'll only see on Local 10 News. A homeowner fighting back and getting into a shootout with 3 dog robbers. The crooks claimed they wanted to buy the victims expensive French bulldogs, but that's when it all took a very scary and violent turn. Local 10's Sinella Sabovic is live now with our exclusive tonight. Sinella.
Well, Calvin, this video is pretty wild. The woman was simply trying to sell 2 dogs that she breeds. That act nearly cost her her life. The entire ordeal was caught on camera. The people responsible remain on the run this evening. It was like a scene out of a movie, a gun battle over pricey exotic dogs. This woman, in fear for her and her girlfriend's life, is forced to fire after a group of young men start shooting at her. A bullet narrowly misses her head, and she ducks behind her car for cover.
We got a knock on the door. I noticed one of the people's faces.
The 3 young men you can clearly see in this Ring video went to the woman's West Park home around 7:30 Monday night. She breeds exotic dogs, and she figured they were there to inquire about them. She noticed something seemed a bit off and asked,
"What the hell is going on right here?" As soon as I turn around, that's when he grabbed me, and then his boys got all frantic.
One of the men then grabbed the woman, holding her at gunpoint. There was a struggle.
And as soon as I turned around, he went and the other guy that was standing here went and put his arm around me, put the gun to my head, and then I started screaming, trying to like wiggle myself out.
They were like trying to drag her out. I don't know for what reason. They had her by her neck, trying to drag her out with the gun to her head.
The trio take off with 2 exotic micro bullies, similar to the dogs you see here. They are worth about $4,000 each. The robbers don't leave quietly either. They shoot at the woman, and that's when she goes into her home to grab her gun.
I would have done anything to protect my girlfriend in my home, and my biggest goal was to just make sure that she was okay and we lived to see tomorrow.
So BSO investigators say this woman was defending her home, so she will not face any charges here. They also tell me that there are 4 people responsible for this crime, 3 that you saw on camera, and 1 person was apparently the getaway driver. So investigators need help from the public this evening. If you recognize those men in the surveillance video that we showed, give BSO a call, or you can remain anonymous and call Broward Crime Stoppers at 954-493-TIPS. We're reporting live this evening. Sinella Sabovic, Local 10 News.
How do you feel about that so far? Honestly, I feel so bad for her and her girlfriend, because she's just trying to, make a living. She's just breeding these puppies and selling them off, and they probably wanted to keep a puppy too. But they
stole 2 of them.
Yeah, I know, but I'm thinking of her and her partner.
Looking at the footage, looking at them standing outside, they look like they full of trouble.
Right.
I don't mean to be discriminatory or anything like that, but I wouldn't have even let them in.
They don't even look late. It's late at night. If you don't come in the daytime,
they look like they full of trouble.
If I'm selling something out of my house, it's not gonna be at nighttime. You better come during day hours.
Yeah,
it's
but I am happy that they survived and that they live, and I am also happy that she was strapped.
Yeah.
And
although the way she was aiming, you don't aim the gun up like this. Those bullets could have ricocheted.
She also scared, so I understand I understand that adrenaline rush is going through her veins at the moment. And also, she was already held at gunpoint before before they ran out or whatever. So she's just already frantic.
She was
and then
scrambling to
they were
protect
shooting
her
at
and
her as well too. So I can understand why. But the way she was aiming, I was like, oh my God! I hope did nobody else I'm just happy. Hopefully, nobody else got injured, in this time or anything like that. But it's freaking scary. I don't know. I might have an article on Facebook. Well, okay, we're going to bypass the article, but I'm going to read some of the comments. So, somebody says, Shorty put everyone but the robbers in danger shooting like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We talked about that, and I was like, when I first saw the video, I was like, ooh, she aiming.
Yeah, you can't aim up like that.
Yeah, it was like...
It could have hit somebody else, an innocent bystander, and that was why...
anything. In this house, you could tell it was houses everywhere around there, so...
I'm hoping that nobody got hurt, but the way she was aiming gave me anxiety a little bit. Another commenter said, this lady doesn't know how to shoot if her and her partner life depends on it. And they put partner in quotation marks because y'all know that they are lesbians, and not a lot of people support. Which is I was stupid. Trying to find the word. Not a lot of people support the LGBT plus community. And so when they said partners, I was kind of side-eyeing like, why did you have to say that?
Right, like you could just say her and her girlfriend. These are words. I'm just gonna say, I know this it's like on the topic but not on the topic, but you don't gotta be homophobic openly.
Right,
like keep it to yourself.
Like it's serious for them because they could have actually got killed. But like for you as a commenter, it's like you really like had to say partners. Right. Like really? Anyway, and to be fair, I've heard other people like different sexes say partners, like a male and female say partners before when they're dating. So y'all act like only lesbians and bisexual people or this type of people that date the same sex only use the term partners.
Everybody uses that term.
A lot of people use the term partners even if they're not, in the LGBT plus community. So anyway. Let me read another one. Okay, so another commenter said, this is exactly how the innocent 3-year-old across the street gets killed while sleeping in his bed, just plain irresponsible and reckless. Again, literally most of the comments are talking about how she was shooting, which I do agree. The way she was shooting was very, very reckless. But you also have to keep in mind that she was in an adrenaline rush and she was trying to keep herself and her girlfriend safe. So I really don't blame her for that. Yeah. But again, she needs to probably go take some lessons, some shooting lessons.
Definitely.
That might be better for her. And maybe possibly the gun that she was using is not a good gun. Like sometimes
because that was a big gun.
Yeah, you gotta.
It was not a pistol.
You gotta get guns that like is comfortable in your hand. I feel like the gun was a little too big for her and a little too heavy when she pulls the trigger. So she probably just needs to get some practice and maybe she'll do better. But anyway, I'm trying to find one more comment. So this last commenter said, how is she not facing any charges for sending stray bullets to the rest of the neighborhood?
I'm going to assume since they didn't face any charges, since she was just, protecting her home, her girlfriend, and herself, that nobody else got hurt. Because wouldn't they have already...
Maybe they would have
put that on the news saying an innocent bystander got hurt. Wouldn't they have already done that? She would have been charged if somebody had got hurt.
I think as a personal... experience, not me being the shooter, of course, but I mean as a personal experience and as other stories that come along, like 9 times out of 10, the people won't get charged if nobody else get hurt. Yeah. So, but I think this could be a lesson for her to go and get classes, go get shooting classes and get the proper gun that will protect you more better and also protect those around you as well, strangers, pedestrians, because like I said, thanks to God, or like Future said, like both of us said, thanks to God nobody was walking at the time of this incident.
That would have went
nobody was
wrong.
Like getting hit or anything. I don't know if somebody's houses got shot up. I don't really know. Okay, so on this second part there is an update. One of the guys got arrested and got charged. Well, I don't know if he got charged yet, but I know he got a 16-year-old got charged for this. I don't think he's coming forward and talking about what happened or, adding the other 2 suspects in it, but we're going to watch it.
Another French bulldog theft that was caught on camera in West Park. A woman getting into a shootout with 3 teenagers after she said they pulled a gun on her and took 2 of her puppies. One of those young suspects faced a judge today, and he had a lot of family support in court. Eden in the newsroom to show us. Eden.
Louis, those 3 teenagers showing up to that West Park home posing as dog buyers. The victim said it all went south as soon as she let them inside her home to look at the dogs. One boy allegedly put a gun to her head while the others grabbed 2 pups and took off. That's when the shooting started, and you can see the boys firing into the home. The woman inside, fearing for her life, grabbed her own gun and returned fire. You can see the bullets just narrowly missing her head. Police have arrested 2 of the 3 suspects, both just 16 years old. One of those boys, Samari Williams, went before a judge today. He was joined by family, his mother, stepfather, aunts, uncles, and his godfather, all advocating for him. His mother asking the judge to allow him to be on home detention, saying he got caught up with the wrong crowd.
I understand that he did score points of 18. He's never been in trouble. He has good grades. Unfortunately, he was caught up in a bad situation with others.
The judge ordered him to remain in detention for 21 days. He must also stay away from the victims and their home, and police have not yet arrested that third suspect, and the 2 stolen puppies have not been recovered.
Honestly, why is it every time the kid gets in trouble, the moms always get on news saying the same thing? Oh, he's a good boy. He gets good grades. He doesn't do no harm. Right. He just got in the wrong crowd. Ma'am.
Are you not watching? See, like, my problem is I feel like women do not watch out for their sons. Not really all, don't. But some of them do not watch out for their sons. They allow their sons to be out in the middle of the night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I can definitely not count how many times I've been sitting outside on my porch and seeing a lot of young kids. Like, there was this incident where it was like, I think 2 young boys that lived somewhere in the neighborhood, and they were throwing rocks at the metro bus at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, y'all. And they don't really watch out for them. They allow them to do whatever they want to, go wherever they want to. But when it comes to the girls, they keep the girls on lockdown. Obviously, not all women
it's
do
like
this,
Rapunzel, pretty much. It's if we had to compare, it's Rapunzel for the girls and Flynn Rider for the boys. Yeah. Because,
it just never amazed me. And I'm even more shocked because how are these kids getting these weapons in the first place? Like, how is it so easy and so simple for these guns to be handed to these kids? These kids are 16, between 15 and 17 years of age. Like, how? And
it's because the parent isn't doing their job. You're not watching your kid.
And I get it. Like, sometimes I can understand, like, you gotta make ends meet. You gotta be working certain odd hours, and your kids should be responsible enough, and definitely at 16, to like take care of themselves. But if you're not properly training them, you're not properly teaching them to do better and to act better and to know what's good from bad, then how else are they going to learn? The streets are going to teach them. So this is the result. Like, I am so thankful that they didn't get hurt, as well as the other people didn't get hurt, and other pedestrians and people living in the neighborhood didn't get hurt. But there are a lot of times where this ends badly. Like, this could end badly for the people, the victims, as well as the victimizers. Like, I don't care. Like, y'all act like these kids are too young to understand what they're doing. No, these kids know. They have guns. They have weapons. They go in and they knew what they were going to do before they got in there.
Once you're above the age of 12 years old, you know what you're doing. And as a parent, it's your job to raise that kid up until they reach that teenage point. So that once they reach their teen years, they understand, okay, yeah, I don't need to be doing this, or this. I need to, have my own mind and not fall into the wrong crowd. Because I mean, I know we're women, but still, like, as kids, when we were growing up, even our brothers, they didn't do all that extra stuff and, get into the wrong crowd and then blame the system and not take responsibilities for their actions. No, we were like, okay, we understand we're not supposed to do this and we're not supposed to do that. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to stay in my lane and do what I'm supposed to do as a child or as a teen. But that's not what happened here.
And to be fair, I understand, like, I cannot say this enough, that I understand that when they're living in that environment, it's very difficult to stop your kids from hanging out with the wrong crowd, especially with public schools, when you're like in a school full of different type of people. And also outside of school, you're in a world where you're mixed in with a lot of different people, and your environment is very, very crucial to how you have growth as a person, as an adult. So I understand that, but let's not make it seem like our environment is just the only reason why
we can't spend our entire time blaming the system. Like,
we can't. Like, we have to take responsibility for our actions and how we choose to raise our kids. And one thing that I want to say is that we as Black people need to heal from trauma. Yeah. And I think that if you are on this path, that you should not have kids. And I know, like, it's so easy because sex is free. Like, you can have sex like that. Like, so I understand how easy it is to have kids. But if you don't want this and you understand that living into this environment is not good, you need to get yourself together and get out of their environment. And I don't want to hear about, we're being torn down and we have to stay here. We can't go outside of it. No. That's linear thinking. You literally can get out of
whatever you can get out
Right.
of. Like, there's no excuse. Yes, there is going to be hard times, and sometimes you're not going to be able to get out of that. But you can do better, and you can raise up from the ground and keep going.
Right.
So there's really no excuses why y'all keep blaming the system for just everything.
Right. There's gonna be obstacles, but you did your job. Because us as Black people, I'm sorry, y'all, but we're lazy. Don't even let's exclude the Oprahs, the Beyoncés, the Tyler Perrys. Let's exclude them. The rest of us, I know that even as regular people, we're still out here grinding. We're trying to get the bag, and we're trying to like really just rise up in the ranks. Right. But the point is, for the lower percent of us, or I'm not going to say majority, but some of the majority, that just every time an obstacle comes towards you and you quit and fall, you're not supposed to do that. No, that's something we need to leave. Especially in 2021. Like, no quitting. Keep going until you reach what you're trying to reach.
You have to be the example. Like, you have to set an example. Yeah. You can't treat your daughters this way and then treat your sons
and
this
then
way.
Wonder why the sons came out, like, who did it and why. Like,
and you wonder why so many kids are getting killed now. And you like Black people getting killed by Black people, getting killed by white people, like everybody getting killed by everybody. Like, but there is really no excuse to say, well, you know, it's different if a Black person is killing another Black person. Like, y'all, it's still violence. It's still a life. It's still violence, and that's pretty much all it is. All I'm saying is that if you're gonna raise your kids to the best of your ability. Right. Sometimes you really don't have control.
Right, you don't.
Like, you can raise your kid to really, really do good, and sometimes that kid is just not.
Right, if they're just plain on hard headed, like you did the best you could, and you just let them know what this is, what that is. You gave them all the knowledge you could possibly give them, and you let them know right from wrong. You know they know right from wrong, but they still choose to do wrong. That's not your fault at that point. That's what they chose.
But,
you did what you could.
But for parents like this mother,
she was avoiding responsibility.
He makes good grades, and that kind of remind me of that one thing where the young teenager robbed a woman, got inside her house. And she shot him, and his whole family got on there, said the same thing, upset, and was like, "Oh, he was such a good boy. He had good grades." And I'm like, do y'all not understand that he literally broke into a person's house, and y'all are just throwing all this? You know, he's a good boy. If he was a good boy, he wouldn't be in this predicament.
Good boys don't break into other people's houses.
Like, I understand. Like, I'm not trying to bash anybody's family members, but all I'm saying is that we really have to learn to take accountability for what we do, how we teach our children, and how we, can disable their growth of being good. Right.
If you spend their entire childhood and their adulthood always taking responsibility and allowing them to avoid accountability for the things they do,
what do you think they're going to do?
They're never going to know what accountability is, and they're going to continue to blame somebody else for something that's clearly their fault. Right. That's something else. Like,
we really got to stop
avoiding accountability.
We really need to do better at teaching ourselves, as well as teaching others, even if they're not our kids. Like, we really got to do better as a community. Like, I'm sick of some of these mothers and some of these family members
they say the same thing every time. It's always, he's a good boy. He doesn't do anything wrong. He has good grades. He fell into the wrong crowd. I swear, if I hear that mantra, that monologue one more time.
But I think with that being said, you just have to teach your kids to not be followers. You have to teach them to be
have
leaders.
your own mind. Yeah, that is important.
And it's very important. Like, it is easy to get swooped under and fall into the wrong crowd. But the whole point is to help your child identify that and to know, okay, let me get out of this. And if I can't get out of this, let me ask for some help to get me out of this. Like, so many kids are going unnoticed. So many kids are in depression because they feel like they can't come out and talk. Right. Like, they feel like they have to keep it
that's
inside.
Another thing we need to work on as a Black community. I'm going to need y'all to stop saying that your kids can come to you and then you throw it in their face, or you tell your kids business. Like,
that's a whole nother story.
No, this is supposed to be. But okay, the bottom line here is us as a community, we need to have limits, but still be limitless. Yeah, like, you need to know your boundaries, but you still need to be able to rise above and do what you need to do.
The negative parts of your life.
Yeah, you need to let that go.
If you were born into a neighborhood of poverty, the whole point is to keep working and keep striving and then keep doing better. Like,
I don't know why people think that, yes, not everybody is going to live those rich and lavish life. Like, not everybody is going to be rich.
Barely to middle class.
The mindset can be rich.
Yeah.
Okay? Your brain can think rich, even if you end up not ever getting rich. Like, but it's a survival mode. I understand that. But you also literally have to take accountability for what you do, what you say, and especially how you raise your children. So we're gonna leave that at this video.
Right.
I hope you guys
we can talk all day about
this video's already long. I'm looking at the time and up there like, ooh, girl, we about to be at 30 minutes.
I was enjoying the conversation.
I really was, but this could be a whole nother different conversation another time.
We'll do a part 2. Just let us know in the comments if you want us to do a part 2, because we will. But
but we're really trying to work out of our normal routines of doing reaction videos. We want to get into actually like real day-to-day, like, not saying that the stuff that we react to are not real things, but like real issues, real conversations, like news.
We want to tell you what the problem is and then offer the solution, because
we're giving our little bit of
opinion,
so
it definitely works.
It's not gonna be like on my level. It's not gonna be like college educated, but
technically college.
Well, you. But I mean, sometimes I kind of shy away from these topics. Like, for the long time, I was like,
I kept bothering her about it. I'm like, we need to do this.
I was kind of like shying away from it because I always feel like that I just was not an advocate for these type of conversations.
Yeah, but you are, because you're a part of the older generation.
No, I get it now, but at the time I was just like, ooh, that's risque. I don't want to, dip my feet in that. Sometimes you gotta think about stuff first before you just up and doing it. So I needed to go through the thinking process first, and I was like, I'm not ready for that yet. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching.
Brown Skin Sisters.
Be sure to subscribe, share, like, and comment. And if you really enjoyed this video, let us know. We are really striving to do different content on this channel, and
give us some ideas.
Please give us some ideas. And in the meantime, we will be focusing on like news type of theme of video content, but there will be a splash of different type of videos, so be sure to check that out and stay tuned. All right, bye.